Hi there, it's Colton Lindsay again with Winning the Inner Game. Thanks for coming back to my channel here and my podcast. What I would like to do is ask you one little simple question to get things started. How would you like to work less and earn 10 times the amount of money? You down with that? See, oftentimes real estate agents, business owners, online marketers, they're kind of calculating the wrong number. Here's what I mean by that, okay? They're calculating their annual income. They're calculating their net revenue. They're calculating, which by the way is an important number to track. They're calculating gross commissions, which these are important metrics, right? But you want to know which one is really the one that you want to measure. And I learned this from a good friend of mine, Joshua Smith at GSD Mode, if you haven't met him. You know what? I had an exclusive training with Josh and my Real Estate Hustlers Mastermind earlier this year in 2016 when we were at the Aria Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I remember Josh told me this. He said, you know what, I won't work on anything that makes me or earns me in my business less than $2,500 an hour, right? And it clicked for me. Then I got to meet another really awesome business owner with the Keller Williams organization in the Utah region. And he talked to me about measuring my dollar per hour, right? How many times during the day or during the week or how often are you measuring your dollar per hour? And with the focus of driving it up from $50 to $100 an hour, $100 to $250, $250 to $1,000, $1,000 to $2,500, $2,500 to $5,000 every hour. Can you even fathom that in your life, right? You're not going to be able to fathom it until you ask yourself the question, how can I increase my dollar per hour? So every hour that I'm alive, start to think of it like this, not when you're at work, but every hour you're alive, you are producing X amount of dollars. Got it? So I remember when I started doing this, I was about $450 per hour. Today, within less than a year, I am now nearing about $800 to $900 in that range per hour that I put in, that I generate and I get back just for being alive and creating production. So how do you do that? Well, you gotta get really, really focused and gotta get really clear on what your purpose is here in this life. See, I got one purpose. That's to be happy, to be full of love and be full of joy. You know the secret to do that? I talk about it all the time. If you're not hearing me, if you're not seeing, if you're not getting this, it's not making sense to you, well, open up your ears and watch just a little bit differently what it is. See, it's this little thing right here. It's create what? Create massive value for other people. That's it. That is the one awesome habit about this world. If you can focus on just creating massive value for other human beings, and you can get really specific in that value, such as owning an awesome real estate sales team or an online marketing company or a coaching company or consulting company or an insurance company or being a home builder, whatever it is, you get to choose that. Hey, we got Jay Nutt coming in the video. This was totally unplanned. We're gonna rock with it. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, buddy.
So if you want to increase your dollars per hour, increase the amount of value you create and produce to the world. How do you do that? Get even more focused on every single minute of your life and what you're doing. You're either increasing your value that you can create for others, or you're increasing the amount of production you're doing in serving others and creating value for others. Got it? If you're not focusing on those items, then you're diminishing your self-worth. You're diminishing your value. And if your value goes down and you can't see the value in yourself, what do you think other people are going to see in you? They're not going to see the value. And in fact, if you are worth it, but you're not able to demonstrate your worth to others and the value you bring to the table, still not helping people. And in fact, you can even produce less value but increase your perception, you know, the public's perception of value for you, and people will pay you more money even though this guy over here actually creates more value but he can't increase his perception, right? Think about this. Think about Grant Cardone, 10X, right? How much value does he push out there and create compared to any other sales trainer? Way more value. That's why people are paying $5,000, $10,000 online without even meeting the guy just to get his training. He's got great training, trust me, I love his stuff, but at the same time, people are overpaying for that because they see the value. Got it? Cool. Hopefully this helped you out. So during your day, get really, really clear on what value you're creating. When you're prospecting, you are focused on prospecting. When you're reading a book, you're focused on reading a book. When you're writing in your journal, you're writing in your journal. When you're with your family, you're with your family. When you're hollering at social media, you're hollering at social media. You got it? See, every day with these YouTube videos in my podcast, I don't make them every single day. In fact, I do it one day a week. That's when it's on my schedule. So I knock out 4 of these within inside of an hour on a Monday afternoon, and I did all of my YouTube. Is that cool or what? Then I take that information, if you're listening to this on my podcast and my YouTube, and my virtual assistant, Rodell, he rips the audio, puts it on my podcast. Now I've been able to create massive content to get it out to more people, and I'm creating more value. Because listen, has this helped you in any way? Has this video, has this podcast, has me saying this helped you in any way? That's the value I'm talking about. Now I'm able to just create more value. The more value I create, the more my dollar per hour goes up. Got it? You can do that as well. Focus on right now, what value are you creating at the highest level possible. Adios, we'll see ya. Almost every time, see, people are fear driven. They're fear of loss driven. This is the whole idea of spin selling. This is what Bob's taught for years. Floyd Wickman taught it for years before that. Any great salesman teaches sell on fear of loss, right? However, how do most agents handle it? They're going into it saying, hey, listen, if you knew there was a financial advantage,